Okay, I'm here with the Lusitanian Ghosts, Neil, Micke, and Jan. Pleasure to see you guys after all these a few years that
That's
we
right.
stay without seeing each other. But for the starters, I would like you to explain to us, being a Luso-Canadian, how
Yeah.
a Luso-Canadian meet up with two Swedish folks and start playing music.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's really, really good to see you again. It's been, I think, since 2019, before the thing that shall not be named. But Janne and Micke and I met a number of years ago. I think it was around 2005. I was working on a record in Toronto called The Betrayal of the Self, and it was the first experience that I had in Canada recording on digital, and it went terribly wrong. So the computer died, and we lost like a few months' work on this record with my Canadian musicians. And then my friend Larsha from Deaf and Dumb in Sweden, he said, "But do you have like at least rough mixes or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have rough mixes, but we lost everything. Like the disk drive died." He said, "Well, I'll put a band together for you." Well, that's not how it happened. We'd already played a small tour with Diamond Dogs, and then the recording went down, and then I went to Sweden to make a record with these guys. That's how it happened.
Yeah,
Right?
sounds about right.
And then yesterday at Fnac, Lusitanian Ghosts played, but somebody asked, they brought a copy of The Betrayal of the Self CD from 2006 for us to sign. So that was like,
That's
wow.
a hardcore fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then how do you guys end up falling in love with the Portuguese traditional instruments? I can figure out, but to you guys, it seems like
I guess it started with the Amarantina, right? That you...
Yeah, Neil brought me an Amarantina. Actually, I was here in, I don't know what year it was. You and me did a duo show. That was the first time I went to Portugal.
With Primitive Reason. That was in Ericeira 2015, maybe.
Yeah.
16.
And then you had the idea of making pop music with these traditional instruments.
Was it pop music?
Pop music. Yeah.
I bought an Amarantina from APC, APC in Braga, and took it to Stockholm. And then you went home and played some Rolling Stones music with it.
And then, it works.
You did a video with You Can't Always Get What You Want played on the Amarantina, and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. And then that's how it started.
And you use the traditional tuning?
Yeah, I
checked
it out on the YouTube. How to tune this thing. And
And not use the guitar tuning.
No.
Use the traditional Portuguese tuning.
Yeah, the Moda Velha. It's like learning a whole different language. I can't play it.
But you played also another traditional cordophone,
I'm trying to
right?
learn the Beiroa from Castelo Branco. It's really hard. It's and I've never been the most disciplined musician, if I can even use that word. So now I'm just I'm older.
You struggle around in the...
I'm older and lazier, and I just want to sing. So I forget the words.
So you started doing rock and roll music with those chordophones.
Yeah.
And,
oh yeah. So we should maybe explain that. So the Lusitanian Ghosts is on this new record. There are no more guitars.
Yeah.
We just use the Portuguese traditional regional cordophone instruments, the campanissa from Alentejo, Amarantina and Braguesa from Minho, Beiroa de Castelo Branco, a Terceirense from the Azores, which Abel Beja plays. It's Abe on the Terceira, Vasco Ribeiro Casais on the Braguesa, Micke on the Amarantina, Tose on the Campanissa, And Janne plays bass, but he also plays this thing that they invented in Fernando Deghi, a luthier in Castelo Branco. He crossed the beiroa with a quattro bass, and they called it the viola beirão. And so we have one of those as well, which is a bigger beiroa with like double strings.
More bass.
More bass, yeah.
Add to it. But then you look for some traditional Portuguese songs to play and figure out, okay, this is the sound. You turn into some pedals, some effects.
No, we didn't.
Or it's just straight
onto the
straight rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Yeah.
I think
the only time I ever played any traditional Portuguese music was when we were at this thing with what's his name, Marco.
Oh, with Marco Campanese.
Yeah, he
Marco
taught us
Vieira,
some Portuguese. But that's the only time I ever.
Yeah, we were at the Sibelius Museum in Finland, in Turku, town of Michael Monroe and Hanoi Rocks, and at the museum we did a cordophone exhibition with support from DG Arts, Portuguese Arts Council. And so it was the first time that the cordophones, these popular instruments, were properly displayed in an international museum.
Yeah.
And we also invited Marco Vieira, and he brought 19 campanisas, and he did a workshop. So the Finns were all learning how to play the campanisa. It was amazing. And there was Rami Helen from Turku Romantic Movement who's learning the campanisa. We gave him one. So now there's a Finnish campanisa player, at least one.
And we played like farmer music
it was like farmer music. It was good, like traditional Alentejo songs. It was really great.
Yeah. So this adventure started with the first record, 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the new one from 21.
Well,
that is re-released.
Yeah, because it was recorded actually January 21. When did the pandemic hit?
2020.
20, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was recorded in Hamburg at Clouds Hill, which is an amazing studio, on tape, just before the pandemic. And so,
On tape, because you got too tired of recording in digital.
Oh yeah. Never digital again. Forget it. Like it's, but we recorded it just before the pandemic hit. Everything shut down. We released a single in 2020 with like sort of online home videos playing together virtually, and a lot of people did that. And then the digital release came out in 21, and then there was 2 vinyl test pressings that I had to send back because we were unhappy with the results. I think there's a lot of people pressing vinyl just to kind of like, they don't even care about the quality. It's just like, let's do a vinyl and we could keep it on the shelf. But we actually want to do a vinyl that sounds better than the digital. So it took 3 test pressings to finally get it right. And so the digital version was out in November 21, and the album was only out, the LP was only out November 22, a year later.
And there's a second release of this with some extra songs.
Yeah, online. So there's the digital. Oh yeah, and that's that's pretty cool because
it was released recently.
Yeah, and the title track, Exotic Quixotic, we invited Joana Negrão from Seva, ex-Das Carrier, and Misia Furtak from Poland to do a Portuguese language version and a Polish language version of the title track that Micke sings on the record, Exotic Quixotic. So that's really nice. There's like, just to hear it's different lyrical interpret. It's not like a straight translation. It's like an adaptation into Portuguese and Polish, and it's that's on the digital expanded release.
Yeah. You both guys sing. How do you decide which songs, which one sings, or just go together and?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, he said, Leyton, go to the bathroom, and then
and I just slip into the to the booth,
and just did it.
It's done.
So you're kind of Warren Hill is taking care of from each record, growing and getting more space. In the Nick Cave records, you are doing the same with the Lusitanian Ghosts, right?
No, he's not. He's no Warren Ellis. I don't even really.
I'm
Mick Harvey.
Yeah. No, Warren Ellis.
No, Mick Harvey.
It's my favorite, Warren Ellis.
The Bad Seeds haven't been the same without Mick Harvey. So,
I'm not sure.
But that's your favorite. So,
yeah.
But you have a secret plan to take over. And the main character.
Oh, then that is Warren Ellis. Yeah, okay, I understand. I understand that.
Ugash is out now.
Yeah, Ugash is out.
And,
no,
just
Ugash
pick him
is
out.
Out. He's Ugash, who, it's a collective. Like cordophone players can come in and out depending on everybody's schedule. We hardly ever rehearse. When we do it, it's kind of just before the shows or the records. And it's just like whoever can make, because everybody's got a busy calendar. So whoever can make each outing, whoever's available can join. Gaju said, I need to concentrate on my stuff now. So is it okay if I don't play?
Yeah, because he was a part of the band in the first record.
Yeah, that's right.
Or at least he was really present.
Oh yeah, and he played all the shows. Yesterday, it's funny because yesterday he was there. He came to see us at the Fnac, even though he wasn't playing. And he signed the autographs on the first record that people were buying, and the door is open. It's just like whenever you're available, you can come play. It's I think the lineup now is ready to make the third record already, so it's a pretty solid lineup.
Yeah, there's already new songs.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about
pretty good ones?
King Kong.
Yeah, we already made. We made the songs for the next record already.
So we're going to record it in January.
It was you wrote those songs during the pandemics?
Not so
right after
this year,
sort of. Yeah, I went here to in the spring.
We
did some songs.
Then we did some in Stockholm as well. And now we're just going to finish it. We have 10 songs, so we're going to go back to Clouds Hill in Hamburg and record it in January already.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully not have to do 3 test pressings. Hopefully the schedule next year will be like,
more tight,
clockwork.
Yeah. Okay. You work with Portuguese bands, trying to take Portuguese bands abroad and make them get more popular.
Sure.
Yeah. That's the plan also for Lusitanian Ghosts.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Lusitanian Ghosts by nature is already sort of an international thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think we sort of have to look at the music world as a global market from the get-go. So right now we have as the label is investing in PR in Germany, Canada and the US and Portugal. I think we need to also pay more attention to Sweden and Finland and the Nordics in the new year. So, but the plan is to definitely take an international approach to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you guys feel that you are playing Portuguese instruments that gives you people look abroad, they look at you on a different way, like, oh, these guys got an original sound. It's more interesting for other people to get known.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting a 6-string and.
Yeah, of course, and I mean the sound is pretty. You never heard this thing before, and I think you told me that these instruments normally they don't play together, like they're from different regions. So even in Portugal, it's quite unique.
Yeah,
even though it's Portuguese instruments.
Yeah, because usually you have local groups that play the campanisas together, or they might play the beiroas together.
Yeah,
but they don't usually mix them.
They don't combine all these instruments.
No, so that was a first, and that was what really Abel Beja and Guillermo from Primitive, they were really excited about it because it was like, oh, this is really groundbreaking. Like, I don't think it's been done before. And then what I think is amazing is when we take it outside Portugal, because the Portuguese cavaquinho made, it went international and turned into the ukulele, and everybody knows the cavaquinho and the ukulele, right? But nobody knows these instruments because many of them almost went extinct in the 20th century. Like, people stopped playing them.
Yeah.
Except maybe for the braguesa. But the other, like,
it probably was hard to find someone that to build them.
Yeah. So I think there was like a few decades where they were practically extinct. And so to bring them back and to see so many new people playing them is a really amazing thing. And then when we decided between the first record and the second record to drop the 6-string guitar altogether and just do cordophone records, which is this one, I think Micke's right. I think it sounds a bit different. It's like folk rock in a way, but it doesn't have the same sound as the Waterboys or something, It's kind of like, it's very much its own thing. And I think you said one time that also when you started writing on the Amarantina, instead of writing on the 6-string guitar, then the writing approach changes.
Probably wrote like 5 songs in a row because everything was different. So everything is...
That's exactly what happened.
Exciting, right?
Yeah.
I think we went into we rented a studio here.
Yeah.
You and me, and we just hit like 5 or 6 songs.
For this record,
Like this.
It was a studio in Arroios. I forget the name of it. But
one day, and we
did like 6 or 7
5 or 6
songs.
songs.
Just with the Amarantina and the Beiroa. I had my Beiroa, and which I played on one song on the first record only. And
because you're lazy.
Because and I didn't play on this record at all. I don't think I just sang, and it's but it's really easy to write because it takes you out of the box. It's new ideas come out of the instruments in a really cool way.
We are talking about the traditional instruments and folk rock and everything with Lusitanian Ghosts. It's a band to see live and loud, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a rock act.
These guys, Vasco did this stage design, stage plot. And when I think the first show with the new stage plot was in Évora. And I got on stage, and the way they organized it was like all 7 of them were in a semi-circle behind me, and they put my microphone up front. And I'm like, what? Like, you guys are all sitting down and I'm singing? Like, no. It feels really weird, right? But then I got into it. It was okay. But I feel, because we sing a lot of songs together, and we want to sing on the next record even more as a dual vocal approach. So I need Micke up front with me. I don't know how you're going to play.
I just got to get a knob for the...
Just got to get a knob.
Because if I only can get a knob, I can make... you know a guy?
Yeah.
But it's an amazing thing to come from doing the Neil Leyton rock and roll thing, which was, a rock and roll band on stage, and playing these bigger theaters, where people are sitting down, and and these guys are all in an archway behind me. I was like, whoa! It's like I feel like I'm a little bit more grown up, but I
I mean, it's the same kind of music essentially in some way. Yeah. But we're sitting down, we're having these old traditional instruments, and as you say, the audience is sitting down, everyone's sitting down,
except me.
Yeah, except you. But yeah, you're.
So I dance a little bit. I do my James Brown moves.
You got those moves?
Some of them. I don't do the splits.
They must be good.
Yeah.
And are you guys planning? Because these instruments, as far as I know, they are fragile instruments, right? So it's probably hard to take them on the road and be beaten and like a...
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I mean, Vasco is touring quite some bit with with all his instruments. So
you got a good flight case, you can
got
take
a
it on
good
a
bag,
plane.
Yeah, I think the only instrument we've had a problem with is the new invention, the beirão from Castelo Branco. It's caving in a little bit, right? So,
Yeah, but I don't think that's because of the traveling. Might be the humidity in the air or something changing, that kind of thing. But
I mean, there's different tricks. Like Tozé has this campanisa that folds.
Yeah.
You know, the neck folds, and it's like it's really easy to travel with and stuff. So, and you know, Gajo has all his campanisas totally kitted out for stage use, and it's never been a problem.
Yeah. But Gajo has a different approach on the campanisa that he plays with
his own
normal tuning of an electric guitar.
Yeah.
Because he says that he was too lazy to learn it. all again.
No, but he's not. It's a different kind of lazy from my lazy. He's a really hard worker.
Yeah.
Like he really practices.
Yeah.
But he likes to do it with that tuning to sort of be in his comfort zone, I guess. But Vasco, Micke, and I think Tozé play with the traditional tunings.
Yeah.
Abe also tunes the terceira like a guitar.
Yeah.
Like a regular guitar. Because I mean that's 15 strings he's got, right? It's a lot of strings. Is it the 15 string or the 18 string? There's two terceiras. One has
15.
One has 15. The other one has 18
It's
strings.
a nightmare to tune, right?
Oh yeah. But it's amazing because we thought at the beginning, we're like, this is going to be really hard tuning on stage. We've never had a problem. You guys are amazing. I don't know, they're like magicians. I never hear anything going out of tune.
No,
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
We just do it. We're magicians. Like you said, we're magicians.
Just snap your fingers and it's okay.
Yeah.
But actually, it's worth mentioning as well because when we started playing, like it was just you and me, and I was just do the chords on the. It was actually the first time when we got together and we met Vasco and Ugash. That was like virtuosos on these instruments. We got that together with me playing the chords, and that was the first time when we went to the radio. Were we with you in the radio playing? Yeah,
that's true.
And that was like the first time we heard like really how this could sound, because I wasn't. I was when I played it, I thought, well, it's almost like a guitar, but not really. But then when we added those guys who could really play. It was
so
then it started
door open to
that's
another universe.
That's when it really came together. It was when we started doing acoustic radio.
Yeah, was it the first radio
without the electric guitar? And that's when we realized, okay, for the next record, let's just do it that way, you know, just with the cordophones, and that's how this came about. And the drums, and bass.
Bass,
but even on the drums, Johnny Dynamite, he's sometimes he's not playing the snare drum, he's playing an adoof, a square Portuguese. So he's using the adoof
with the stick,
with the what do you call it? Like
is some
brushes, brushes or
not really brushes? They are
the hot
plastic
shots,
or whatever.
So even the drums have a Portuguese element in the percussion. So it's really cool. It was difficult to mic it at the beginning in the studio to get the sound right. But there's a bunch of songs on this record that don't have the snare drum. They have the adoof.
So the record is already available?
Yes.
That's the best press test that you can get.
Oh no, this one's good now. It's I'm happy with this one. It's nice. It's not like a loud pressing, but it's nice and dynamic, and you can enjoy the sound of the record.
And you're gonna start touring during the 2023.
I hope. Well, we actually did okay. Like how many shows we did? Not too bad during the pandemic. I think we did like 6 shows already, and then now we're doing 2 more in Portugal this coming week, plus the Fnac showcases, of course. And then next year we will record the 3rd album in January, and then hope to tour in the summer.
Yeah, but it's going to be out September, no?
Yeah. Right. But we'll get some singles out before the summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Clockwork.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Nuno, so
much. It was a pleasure.
Really good to see you.
Yeah.